Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. Today we're taking a look at a 14-foot box truck assembly. It has two 8-gallon-a-minute pressure washers and one gas engine soft wash system. Right now we're on the driver's side of the box van. So we have the fuel fill for the van down here. And then what we did is we added an access panel to be able to fill the fuel tanks for the 8-gallon system. So just quickly unlock there and you can reach right in and fill from the outside as you're filling the van. So just a much more convenient way to get all that part of it handled. And then from the back, we'll take a look at everything that's right at the rear of the truck, and then we'll move in and go over all the components inside. So as you can see, we have a stack of 4 hose reels. On the bottom, we've got 100 feet of 3/4 inch garden hose. And we've got 200 feet of the 3/8 inch pressure washer hose on both hose reel number 2 and hose reel number 1 for the pressure washers. And then up top we have the soft wash hose. So we can stack these 4 high because we put a lot of additional support in there to make sure that they're not going to sway or anything. This has a nice wooden floor to the truck as well. And then of course you can stand on the stair or you can stand on the truck in order to access and reel everything up. On the passenger side, we have the soft wash system. It's a Honda GX200 engine with the P40 Comet pump. This is connected to the Midwest metering system so that we can meter the bleach, the surfactant, and the water that goes through. I'll climb up in here and we'll go over the pressure washers and the other equipment that's inside. Okay, so now that we're inside the truck part of the van, we have both of our cold water pressure washers down here on the driver's side. So these are both Honda GX 690 engines with the TSF 2021 general pumps, 3,500 PSI, 8 gallon per minute. The hoses we have on here, we've got a couple drain hoses, one for the engine, one for the pump for oil drain and just maintenance there. We have our high pressure line that goes over to the hose reels. And then this is our incoming line from the water tank. On the other side, we use a bleeder valve. The bleeder valve just helps us keeps the air out of the pump. So whenever that water is coming from the tank and going to the pressure washer, if you drain your tank all the way or you run out of water, you're gonna get air in that line, and we need a way to get that air out of the line for nice, easy startups. The other hose that was coming off of the unloader valve here that I missed was this one here. That's your cool bypass line. So that circulates the water from the pump head back to the tank whenever the pressure washer is on, but you are not pulling the trigger. So if it wasn't hooked up to a tank, it would just recirculate in the head of the pump. But when we extend that hose back to the tank, you have nice fresh water constantly going through those pumps. So you can let them run pretty much infinitely as long as you have cool water in your tank while you're rearranging hoses, talking to a customer, answering a phone, something like that, without having to run back and turn your machine off. Both machines are exhausted through the floor, and then underneath the truck, they take a 90 and go out through the side. And then we have a heat shield up against any wood part just to make sure that wood's not getting too hot. We got the batteries for the pressure washers, the fuel tanks. These are 12-gallon fuel tanks for the pressure washers. Again, there's the other side of that access panel that we saw from the driver's side. We have a 525-gallon water tank. We have a 24-inch surface cleaner that can work with either one of the 8-gallon pressure washers. On the water tank, we've got a filter that filters the water coming from the garden hose feed before it goes into the tank. That keeps debris from kind of collecting on the inside of your tank. And then it also helps keep the float valve from getting clogged. So the float valve is just on the underside inside the tank where that water is going through. The float valve will shut off the water supply when the tank fills and then continue to fill the tank once the water level starts to deplete again. The passenger side over here, I'll kind of get out of the way. You can see we got a tank drain that goes down through the floor. It's a nice big 2-inch drain so you can empty that tank quickly if you need to. And then we've got filters that go over to all of the other equipment. So filters for your pressure washers, filters that go to your soft wash system. We want to make sure that any debris that makes it through that first one isn't going to get to your pumps or to your metering system. We have a couple 55-gallon tanks here. One is just an additional soap tank for a customer, or for the customer that uses just one particular soap a lot. We have our 55-gallon bleach tank And then we've got our 7-gallon surfactant tank. The hoses that you see coming out of all of these ones are going to the soap injectors. So he can choose whether he wants to pull either bleach or from his 55-gallon soap tank and go to his pressure washer number 1 or pressure washer number 2. I'm sorry, vice versa. It says 2 and 1 here. Before it goes over to those injectors and gets drawn through the soap injector. We have a bleach vent tube, which is what this is right here. That'll keep the airborne bleach from going down and out through the exterior of the truck, keep corrosion as minimal as possible. And then we have our tube that's drawing from the bleach tank into the soft wash system. And then down below, our surfactant tank, which is being drawn directly into the soft wash system. And then our metering valves, we've got water, surfactant, and SH, or bleach. And then below this metering valve, we have a flush valve. So the flush valve allows you to switch from bleach draw over to water draw and completely rinse out that system, or just use it to spray water. So a nice, easy way. You can just reach in and access that from the outside of the truck without having to climb up in here every single time. The wands, we have a couple wands for each, one for each pressure washer. Sorry, I keep making you go up and down on the video. And then we've got our regular wash down gun that we use for the soft wash system. It's nice, it's got a swivel on here, so just a little bit easier to manage those hoses. Otherwise, super efficient system. This is, like I said, it's about a 14-foot length on the box, about 7 feet wide, maybe a little bit wider than 7 feet. Everything was put together. You can see how much time they take to meticulously put these hoses out of the way. So you've got a nice aisle to walk through here to access your surface cleaner or access any other pieces and parts that you're going to have in this truck once you get it out on the road. But it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of detail and a lot of planning to get all of those exactly where you want them to go. So if you have any questions on this particular build, it'll be on our website, 3rpressurewashers.com. If you're on YouTube right now, you can go down into the description and click the link. It'll take you directly to this particular package on our website. And if you have any questions beyond that, feel free to give us a call. Thank you.